Trading under 2.5 goals on Betfair is the subject we are returning to today, and we're going to look at a specific strategy that we are nicknaming as the double down strategy. Could this be a way of saving the trade when an early goal goes in against you? I show you the strategy step by step, and then we put it to the test with some real life examples that I have a feeling you might really enjoy. Go grab a shot of whiskey and let's get into it. So regular viewers of this channel will know all about the basic football trading strategy of trading the under 2.5 goals price as it trends downwards in the first half. And we know it will keep trending downwards while there are no goals. And it's the same for the under 1.5, under 3.5, under 4.5, under 5.5 if you wanted. I've actually put up a video separate to that, separate to this one, showing exactly how that works. They all behave in exactly the same way. And it can be a pretty simple and easy trading strategy to use, right? You just get in the market. I mean, one of the big problems when you're trading is knowing which direction is the market going to go in. We know it's going to go downwards, so we can just get in, get out, and make a quick profit as long as there's no goals. The big problem is what to do when a goal is scored, and there is a lot of debate amongst football traders about exactly what to do when this happens. Now, many argue when this happens, you should accept the loss and move on, including myself. However, many others suggest there are things you can do to try and get the loss lower or even eliminate the loss, all right, when this scenario happens. And this is what we're going to investigate today, because down the years, a few people have presented this same strategy to me, and I usually kind of roll my eyes, tell them not to bother. However, in the interest of fairness and what this channel is all about, we're going to put it to the test and see if it can actually work, okay? So let me explain exactly what this strategy is. Now, just to quickly go over what we're trying to aim and do anyway is to back under 2.5 goals at kickoff. And like I said, it's the same on all the markets, all right? We're going to let that price trend downwards, and then if no goals are scored, we're going to look to green up for 10 to 20% profit on our stake within that first 10 to 15 minutes, okay? How much we green up for, that's totally up to you, okay? I know some people that kind of say 10% is the minimum that we're going for. People like to stay in longer for 20%. It's totally up to you, okay? This part is not set in stone, but for the purposes of the video today, we're going to just set it at 10%. So no goals are scored, we can green up for 10%, usually within that first 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes sooner. But if a goal is scored and we're caught out in the markets, this is when we use the double down strategy. So let's get into that. Now, with the double down strategy, it's exactly how it sounds, right? That's why we came up with this nickname. So what we do is we exit for an equal red screen on the under 2.5 goals market. So we are accepting the loss on the under 2.5 goals market. And then we go to the market above it, the under 3.5 goals market, with the same stake and back under 3.5 goals and look to achieve the same trade that we were trying to achieve originally before the goal went in, okay? And the idea is that we're going to build up profit in the same way on the under 3.5 goals market, because the markets are going to behave exactly the same way. They're going to start to trend downwards. We can build up the green as long as there is no further goals, okay? And the idea that many have presented, some would say, hey, you build up profit on the 3.5 goals and you're just looking to lower your loss and then get out. Some say, hey, we want to get in on the 3.5 goals market. We can eliminate the loss. Let's try and do that. However, in practice, it's not so simple as you're soon going to see anyway. But that is the idea of it. That is the idea of it, is that we're going in on the under 2.5 goals. If that doesn't work out, we head to the 3.5 goals market and repeat the same trade to try and lower that earlier loss. But we're going to get into some real life demonstrations of this exact strategy, because I can already tell what the more experienced football traders are thinking watching this video. Yep, I can read your mind already. However, like I said, this is what this channel is all about. We put it to the test so you can see it for yourself and make your own mind up, okay? Now, if you are new to this channel or you're liking what you're seeing, click the like button. That really helps us to know which videos you guys like so we can make more of it, and it helps you to get more videos like this recommended in your feed. So click the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, so you get all the videos as soon as they come out, even the temporary ones as well. Okay, so anyway, that's about it. Let's dive into the real life examples of the double down strategy. Let's go. So just for those who might be totally new to football trading, what we're going to do here is we're going to back under 2.5 right at kickoff in this match here, AC Milan against Celtic, and then we're going to look to just get out in the early stages. And if we, for this demonstration anyway today, if we get caught by an early goal, we're going to use the double down strategy, and I'm going to show you that. But for those who are totally new, this is what we do. We just get our money in right at kickoff, and let me just adjust that just to get this over and done with, so we can then proceed with the good stuff. Okay, so we backed under 2.5, 2.76, and we want to try and get out with around a quick 10 to 20% profit early on in this match one. AC Milan against Celtic. And so you can see in this match, AC Milan against Celtic, we're 5 minutes in, and the cash out amount is already offering us more than the 10%. Okay, we're using a £100 stake. We're looking for 10% just for this quick demo. It's already above that, so let's just push that button and just exit for the quick profit in this one, which is going to be 13% then when that's locked in. So let's just push that and then get that out. So just to show you, I mean, when people do use this strategy, you can be in and out within 5 minutes, okay, if needed. And looks like there's just been a goal. So yeah, well, the whole idea was that we did want to use the double down strategy. So yeah, kind of got out of the market a little bit too quickly there. But anyway, just quickly shows you what you can do in these matches. You kind of get in, out very quickly. A lot of people say it takes about 10 minutes to make the 10%, but it could just take, I think it was 4 minutes that it took in this match, AC Milan against Celtic. Anyway, that is the idea with the strategy, okay? Now, obviously, if you get caught by a goal like we've just seen here, it's going to cause the price to rise, right? And then what do we do? Okay, so that is why I'm going to demonstrate the double down strategy. We're going to have to look to another match for that. But anyway, we got out of a profit in this one just in time. AC Milan against Celtic. So 6 minutes in, Alkmaar against Napoli. We've backed under 2.5 goals at kickoff, and we've been caught out by an early goal, as you can see, 6 minutes in, right? So we are now going to exit on the 2.5 goals market and accept the loss here, which is, you know, it's going to be £53 across both outcomes. Now let's head up a goal market on to the 3.5 goals market, and we're going to use the same stake, and then we're going to back under 3.5 goals with a £100 stake. And the aim is that we are, like I said, kind of doubling down, but we are looking to ride the odds down on the under 3.5 goals to create some green on the 3.5 goals market, and then that can start to negate the loss. Okay, remember we've got £53 of loss on this one, and if we can make some green on this one, we can lower that loss or potentially eliminate it, depending how long we stay in the market. Anyway, we've just gone in at 2.34 with a £100 stake, and I'll give you an update in just a moment. And so we're 25 minutes in, so it's about 20 minutes since the goal, and we've been in the market. Remember, we backed under 3.5 goals after the goal at 2.34. So we've been in the market a fair bit, and now the cash out is offering us £30.72. Let's press it. I thought the odds were about to move, but let's press it, and then we will reassess the situation, right? So £31.53. So obviously now we've got the profit locked in on the 3.5 goals market, and we do have a loss locked in on the 2.5 goals market. So that gets our loss of £52 down, obviously, and then we take away that. So it gets the loss that we had of £52, gets it down to a £20 loss instead. So we've limited that loss a lot more, and obviously one other option is to continue to let this run, and then if we can get up to at least half time, we could completely eliminate the loss as well. That's the idea behind the whole double down strategy approach. Of course, we've been exposed for quite a long time trying to do that at the same time. But anyway, just quick demonstration of the double down strategy and how it works. Let me show you some more. And there are going to be a few more examples to come, but so far this strategy looks pretty good. Okay, we go back in the market when we are faced with a loss, and we can lower that loss pretty quickly within, what was it, 15 to 20 minutes. And when it goes right, all strategies tend to look good. The big thing many forget about is what happens when it goes wrong. And so it is time to address that elephant that is in the room at the moment. And as many of you are already thinking, I'm sure, what happens if another goal goes in while we're trying to do this? Is it actually worth the risk of trying to do this to try and cut our loss down versus just taking the early loss? How often are we actually going to be in a position where we can lower that loss? And what if we were to try and use this double down strategy, not just to lower the loss, but to actually eliminate the loss? Wouldn't that be even better, right? How quickly could we do that? Anyway, I recorded a few more examples showing exactly this, and you can check these out right now. So you can see we've been caught out by an early goal in this match from Portugal, Firenze against Maritimo. And so let's just look in this loss, and then we're going to try, what we're going to try this time is we're going to have a £38 loss over both these outcomes, and we're going to head to the 3.5 goals market. And then what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and stay in the market to build enough green to eliminate that loss. Obviously we're going to stay in the market much longer, but let's have a look here. So yeah, £38 locked in on the 2.5 goals market, and we just backed under 3.5 goals here at 1.6, and we're going to build up enough green to eliminate that loss. Okay, so 12 minutes, Firenze 1, Maritimo 0. So we're into first half stoppage time in this one, and it is still 1-0 to Firenze. And remember, we're trying to get enough green to remove that £38 of red screen. Okay, so we've been in the market ever since that goal, right, and the 3.5 goals market. So has it worked? Have we made enough green to cover that loss? Let's take a look at the 3.5 goals market, and you can see the cash out is currently offering us what would be £31. Possibly I could squeeze £32 out of this. I mean, we still got 30 more seconds, so there might be another tick. But staying in, even from what we got involved around the 11th minute, staying in from the 11th minute all the way up to half time, and we've been in that's been in the market for quite a while, right? And we still haven't made enough green to cover that loss on the 2.5 goals market. So I mean, we could stick with it going into the second half, and eventually we would get there. But obviously, as I guess I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, if a goal goes in, then this is going to be a red screen also. Okay, so yeah, I mean, not great at all. So it's really not great to think that if we wanted to try and eliminate this loss, we have to be in the market through to the second half in this particular match. I'm sure in other matches you might be able to get to half time at least, and then the loss is covered. But it does seem that you're going to have to be exposed in the market for a pretty long time, as you can see here. So we could lock this in for £32, and then pretty much we've managed to get that loss down from £38 down to a minus £6. Okay, is it worth it? Is it worth staying in the market, being exposed for as long as we are to try and achieve that? Okay, well, I'm going to get into more detail about that right now, but yeah, just wanted to show you how it could work if we did want to try and eliminate the loss. We've got that red screen after the early goal. We stayed in the market on the 3.5 goals market till half time, and we still haven't managed to cover that loss. So that is definitely something worth keeping in mind. So this is Ammonia against PAOK, and after 9 minutes we got caught out by an early goal. So you can kind of see what I did. I went in at 1.91, got caught by the early goal, had to get out at 3.6, and we locked in this loss. Okay, so I immediately then went to the 3.5 goals market, and the aim was that we wanted to create enough green to cover that loss. However, we were just about getting there, but we just got caught by another goal. Okay, so we now have to take that loss as well. So it's a loss here of £45 on this one, and we're going to have to accept the loss on this one. Okay, £21. But we were in the market for about 30 minutes trying to use the 3.5 goals market to cover the loss on on the 2.5 goals loss, and yeah, we still couldn't quite get there. Probably had to get it all the way up to half time in order to do that. So in the end, we've compounded our loss. Okay, so 2.5 goals market, £45 loss, and we just added to that with an extra 20 quid on top of that. And when it goes bad, it can go really, really bad as well. So we tried to do a similar thing in the Rangers match where we got caught out by an early goal in 6 minutes. And so we headed to the 3.5 goals market to ride it down and try and get to at least half time to eliminate that loss, to see if we could do that. But look what's happened. Goal on 39, goal on 40 minutes. Let's look at the 3.5 goals market. And, well, the cash out is not appearing, but I can assure you that's going to be close to a, £72 loss on this one once it is locked in. Just going to wait for the prices to settle. So not great at all. I mean, we were in the 2.5 goals market. We took that loss. We went in here to double down to try and see if we could eliminate that loss, but it hasn't quite worked out. 2 quick goals. And now we are, staring down the barrel of more than doubling that loss. Okay, so instead of this being a double down strategy, it could be the double your losses strategy. But anyway, once I lock this out, once the markets kind of settle and that cash out is fixed, then I will lock in that loss of £70, and we'll add it to the loss there of 46. And yeah, let me just get out of there. So yeah, not great at all. Not great at all. If you really are looking to try and use the strategy to eliminate your losses, then you're looking to have to get to half time without any further goals. And then if you get hit by this sort of double whammy of 2 quick goals, then yeah, it can get pretty nasty. So yeah, another not great example of this strategy here. Rangers against Standard. So a bit of a bloodbath there, and you can kind of see why I am not a fan of this sort of approach. I do get many telling me that this is what they do, and they do it successfully when there is an early goal, but I struggle to see how this can be a profitable approach in the long term, especially when you see what can happen in those worst case scenarios, okay? Especially looking at that Rangers match, when you think that we went to all that trouble just to try and win £10, okay? It was 10% off the £100 stake, and ended up compounding the loss significantly. And that sort of scenario can and will happen eventually to you if you are going to trade in this way. So there are many problems with this approach, and like I said, it is one down the years. If anyone wants to come to me and say this is what they want to do, I always try and warn them away. But there are a few other reasons why as well, and one of the big principles of this is you have to ask yourself, if you're trading in this way, are you throwing good money after bad? Okay, you've already entered one trade and it's went wrong. Okay, it's gone badly. You've lost that trade. Now, what are you really doing? Are you going in on another trade to try and win that back? Do you see these as 2 separate trades? I don't know. But for me, as a trader, I like to get my money in when the situation is good. When I'm in a position of strength, then I'm happy to put more money into the market to try and capitalize on that position of strength. If I'm in a losing position, well, my thought is to try and get money out rather than adding more money into the market. If I'm in a losing position, I don't want to add more money to my losing position and dig myself into an even deeper hole. It never ends well when you try and do that. So that's a kind of question you have to ask yourself if you are going to trade in this way. Are you throwing good money after bad? Shouldn't you just accept that your original trade lost? Cut your losses and move on and do something else? I don't know. I mean, there are no specific rules to trading. You kind of have to ask yourself what your own trading philosophy is. But the other thing to think about with this specific approach, now we've gone in the market, we tried to ride the odds down when it was 0-0, we got caught out by a goal. Now, you have to keep in mind that goals change matches and goals can open matches up. Now, when the match is level, you might get a tentative start to the match. And to be honest, those are the matches you should be trading with this strategy when you get 2 teams which might start quite slowly. But once the goal has been scored, the losing team now has nothing to lose. They got no choice but to suddenly come out and try and get that equalizer and get level once again. And so it changes the match. And suddenly you might have a much more open match than you previously had. And that is something to consider as well. So you're almost fighting against the tide with this sort of approach. Not to mention you're going to be really, really nervous. I mean, you've already taken one loss on the 2.5 goals market. How are you going to feel being exposed on the 3.5 goals market after that, when suddenly the match is open and you've got both, well, the losing team really trying to commit and get an equaliser by this point. But probably the biggest thing as well to keep in mind, and look at the Rangers match for a good example of this, is that the risk-reward ratio starts to become pretty unsustainable if we're going for the double down strategy. Okay, if the initial aim is to try and win 10%, then doubling down, and like I said, it's like going up above, where we are just digging ourselves into a deeper hole. So if we get a scenario like that Rangers match, we ended up losing, was it 120, trying to win 10. So it's like a risk-reward ratio of 1 to 12, right? Let's have a look at the this chart with risk-reward ratios and all that sort of thing. And so let's just say we are just going for the 10% in and out at the start of the match. You're looking at probably a 4 to 1, 5 to 1 risk-reward ratio, okay, which is not great as it is. However, it's not totally impossible to be profitable that way. I mean, you did see the AC Milan example. We were done and out with 11% after 5 minutes. So you have to get it right 83% of the time in order to break even in the long term. And like I said, it's not totally impossible. However, by using a strategy like this, we suddenly put our risk-reward ratio up higher, where we are possibly risking 10 to win 1. And then we need a 91% success rate to break even. However, the problem is that if we're going back into the market to try and, what are we trying to do? Trying to lower the loss, we're trying to get to half time with no further goals, then, well, I mean, overall, we need to be successful 91% of the time. However, and this is not the exact stat, so don't quote me on this, but if there is a goal scored in the first 15 minutes of the first half, then there is a 50% chance of another goal being scored before half time. So basic probability suggests you're not going to get that 91% strike rate, because 50% of the time you are going to get caught out by another goal. So you're up against it. You really are up against it with this sort of approach. And I've said it once, I say it before. If you get in the market looking for that initial under 2.5 goals trade and you get caught by the early goal, just accept the loss and move on. There's still a lot of time left in the football match to try and get into a profitable position on other markets. There's a lot more to do, but don't compound the loss. Don't dig yourself even deeper. Anyway, if you are new to the world of football trading and you want to learn more, then click the link in the description of this video to download this free beginner's guide, the football trading success plan that has already helped thousands of people get on the right path to making a second income from football trading. So if that is your aim, then the link to this is in the description of this video. Enter your email address, your very best email address, and I will send it right to you. And like I said, it's absolutely free, so you can't really go wrong with that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed checking out this video. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you'll get all the future videos as soon as they come out. And there's another couple of really, really good videos on the screen right now for you to check out. So click on one of those videos and I will see you in the next video.